Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Today we are diving into the world of e-readers.
Because Amazon just dropped a whole new lineup of Kindles.
Yeah.
We're talking fresh features.
New tech,
Yes.
even some new colors.
Of course, gotta have the color.
We've got all the details ready to unpack so you know exactly what's worth getting excited about.
And more than just the what, we'll explore the why. What do these new Kindles tell us about where Amazon sees the future of reading headed?
Okay.
So let's dive into these new Kindles.
We've got a stack of first impressions from folks who got their hands on these devices at a recent Amazon event.
It's always fascinating to see how those early hands-on reports translate into real-world use.
For sure.
Let's start with the most affordable one.
The newest version of the Kindle.
Okay.
They kept it simple,
No fancy names this time around.
but that doesn't mean they skimped on the upgrades.
Yeah.
They've made some subtle but significant improvements to the reading experience. Remember how those page turns on the older model could be a little sluggish?
Yeah.
They've really smoothed that out, making it feel much closer to turning the page of a physical book.
And that faster refresh rate.
That's tied to this new display tech.
Right. I admit I'm curious about the nitty-gritty details there.
So they're being a little tight-lipped on the exact tech specs,
But essentially it seems like they've tweaked the e-ink technology.
allowing for faster updates and better contrast. It's all about reducing that gap between the digital page and the feeling of real paper.
Which for a lot of people is what holds them back from fully embracing e-readers.
Right.
It's gotta feel good to read.
Not just be convenient. And speaking of feeling good,
They've added a new Marcha color option.
smart marketing.
Sometimes those little aesthetic touches are what tip someone from maybe to add to cart.
Definitely.
And speaking of aesthetic upgrades,
Let's talk about the Kindle Paperwhite.
it's gotten a pretty noticeable makeover this time around.
A larger screen.
And they've managed to squeeze it into a body that's practically the same size as the previous Paperwhite. That's some impressive engineering. They've also incorporated that faster display technology we were talking about, so you'll really feel the difference when you're flipping through pages.
That's huge. And for anyone who loves to read by the pool or at the beach,
The new waterproof design is going to be a game changer. No more worrying about splashes or spills.
exactly. They're really trying to replicate that carefree feeling of reading wherever you want.
And for many, that peace of mind is worth its weight in waterproof gold.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the one everyone's been buzzing about.
A color Kindle.
It's finally here.
The Kindle Color Soft.
It's an interesting name choice, don't you think?
It does make you wonder.
Is Color Soft their way of saying it's not going to be as vibrant as, say, our phones?
Possibly.
Color ink technology is still in its early stages.
Well, it's probably a way of managing expectations. But even if the colors aren't as poppy as on a phone or tablet.
Think about what this means for comics,
For graphic novels.
for cookbooks. Even just seeing book covers in full color could change how we engage with books in the digital space.
Absolutely. And for certain types of content, like those cookbooks with illustrations you mentioned,
For travel guides with maps.
color isn't just a visual bonus, it's actually crucial for engagement and comprehension.
It's like a whole new world of reading is opening up.
Mhm.
But speaking of new worlds,
Let's move on to the Kindle Scribe.
okay,
It's their top-of-the-line e-reader,
that's also a powerful note-taking device.
and it just got a serious upgrade.
A serious upgrade with the price tag to match, I'd say. At $400.
It's definitely an investment,
Sure.
but for folks who love to take notes or
Yeah.
even journal digitally,
This could be a game changer. They've really focused on making the Scribe feel as close to pen and paper as possible.
exactly. It's fascinating how they're bridging that gap between the digital and the physical. The new screen texture is designed to mimic the feel of writing on real paper, and the improved stylus is supposed to feel even more like a real pen.
And they've even added a new eraser feature to the stylus.
Our sources say it feels incredibly realistic.
That attention to detail is really interesting.
It shows that they understand the importance of the sensory experience.
Even in the digital world, for many people, physically writing things down helps them remember information better.
Absolutely.
I'm the same way.
If I really want to learn something, I have to write it down.
Yeah.
And get this.
They've added AI-powered features to the Scribe.
Wow.
Imagine,
You could jot down your notes in your natural handwriting.
and then boom.
The Scribe transcribes them into neat, searchable text.
That's huge.
And it speaks to a larger trend of integrating AI into our everyday devices.
Imagine the possibilities.
Searching your handwritten notes just as easily as you search typed documents.
Or having those notes synced seamlessly across all your devices.
Okay, so we've covered the whole lineup from the most affordable Kindle to the top-of-the-line Scribe. But What does it all mean? What's the bigger picture here?
To me, it's clear that Amazon is really listening to what users want. They're pushing the boundaries of e-ink technology, focusing on a more seamless paper-like experience.
And now they've even added color to the mix.
And now they've even added color to the mix.
Got-
Like they're saying,
You love the feel of a real book.
yeah,
We hear you. And those AI features in the Scribe.
that's a whole other level of innovation. Do you think this is the start of a bigger push towards AI in the e-reader space?
Absolutely. I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do for reading and note-taking.
Imagine personalized recommendations based on your handwriting style,
Oh, wow.
or even real-time language translation as you read a book in another language.
Now that would be incredible.
It's exciting to think about where this technology is headed, but for right now, with this new Kindle lineup,
It seems like there's something for everyone.
definitely.
These prices will likely drop,
Right.
especially as we get closer to the holidays.
That's right. So if you're thinking about treating yourself to a new Kindle,
It might be worth holding off for a bit to see what kind of deals pop up. And maybe it's not just about the devices themselves.
I feel like this is making me think differently about the future of reading as a whole.
I agree. These new Kindles aren't just about upgrading features. They're pushing us to reimagine the entire reading experience.
It's not about replacing physical books.
It's about enhancing the way we connect with stories and information.
Exactly.
It's about finding the perfect blend of the digital and the physical,
Right.
the familiar and the innovative.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's as fascinated by this new wave of Kindles as we are, we want to leave you with this. As you think about these new devices, what excites you the most? Is it the prospect of color e-readers finally becoming a reality, the seamless integration of AI, or maybe something else entirely? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, maybe your next deep dive into a good book will be on one of these brand new Kindles. That's it for this deep dive. Until next time, happy reading, everyone.